And we are back. And we just finished 2024's Damsel, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 50 minutes. We caught this on Netflix. This is from director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo with writing credits to Dan Mazeau. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. This is the story of Princess Elodie, played by Millie Bobby Brown, Netflix darling. And as she is, I guess, promised in marriage to Prince Henry from, I guess, a neighboring kingdom, and goes off to start a new life, but is then part of a sinister ritual that this kingdom has in order to keep the peace, I guess. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. I'm going to start with myself, I guess. This was good. I mean, it was better than I thought it would be. It wasn't the best thing I'd ever seen. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen, but it was better than I anticipated it. And I think that a lot of the credit goes to Millie Bobby Brown's performance. She is like the strong heroine who will not go down without a fight. You think of princesses and you think of the more traditional telling of just wispy women who need saving. But in this one, Princess, I guess, Elodie saves herself.
Yep.
And I think some obvious CG work, but it wasn't too jarring. It wasn't terrible. I think the story itself, I think the beginning, there was like a lot of buildup, right? It felt like slow in the beginning, right? But I think they're laying the foundation to what's to come. And I think that, I think it works. I mean, I think maybe they could have shortened a little bit of the beginning, but that's okay because once you get into the action sequences, it moves fairly quickly and fairly well. I think there isn't too much minutia. And, yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like girl power and women saving themselves and what else? I'm blanking out.
I don't know. I think you summed it up well. She's a damsel in distress, obviously, but she's not being saved by a knight. She's doing the saving for herself.
Although she does enter into this marriage not for good reasons to enter into her marriage, but I guess noble ones.
It was seen as good back in the day. She was doing it to help her kingdom and her people. Right. But yeah, it didn't really get her to a good place.
Yeah, although, I mean, once she meets Henry, it seemed like they had maybe forged a nice little alliance between the two of them, and it seemed like there was something different about her that he liked. But of course, he had his own duty to perform.
His own duty that he was kind of like bullied into by his mom.
Mother, yes.
Like, Jesus, stand up for yourself, bro.
Yeah,
Olivia, what did you think of Henry getting bossed around by his mom?
He was an absolute loser. Like, back in those days, weren't men like beating the crap out of women if they didn't do something?
You would think that, but I guess because he was her son, I guess he gave her. But even her husband wasn't really a man of character.
Yeah, but he still could have smacked the crap out of his mom.
I don't think
no one would have cared.
I don't think her husband, Henry, the prince's dad, the king of the other kingdom, I don't think that guy had a single line in the film, did he? He was just standing at her side.
Yeah, he was just there for filler.
He was like her side. He was like a decoration.
According to IMDb, his name is King Roderick.
Which no one knew because he didn't say a
Queen
single
Isabel.
word.
Queen Isabel is a piece of crap.
She was
played by Robin Wright. She's actually
tradition.
It's kind of funny because we watched Princess Bride, and that's Buttercup.
Oh yeah. Oh really? Oh, that's why you said Buttercup. I was like, who the hell is that?
That's Buttercup, which is a completely different character than this.
Yeah, seriously. Jeez.
I think in later years, she's definitely picked up like the whole heavy quote like character. I think she does it well.
She plays the role well. She definitely looks like an evil queen type person.
Yeah. She got hers though at the end.
She did. There was that one shot.
Her skin was melting off.
Yeah. Not as good as the Nazis melting in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but still.
I don't know if anything could top that for you.
Yeah. That's cinema, my friends. That is cinema. Olive G, what'd you think of the film?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, what'd you like about it? Did you like Elodie, played by Millie Bobby Brown? Did you like the relationship between the sisters? Did you like the scenery, the costumes? What'd you like?
I just thought it was a good movie.
You just thought it was a good movie? Okay. What made it good? What made it interesting?
She was she's protecting herself.
Okay.
And
Did you think Elodie was going to get out? I think for a while there I was like, I mean, I guess because she's the main character and it is Millie Bobby Brown. I doubt they would let her die, but
yeah, no, I knew she was going to escape.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she had to. What did we think of the other princesses that didn't make it?
I mean, what was there to think about them?
Yeah,
died. They did, but
there was nothing. They're dead. They never, like, they're barely in the movie. Like, maybe.
I suppose I felt a little bad for them because we're under the assumption for a little while that one of the princesses does escape, but she does not.
I guess she does not. Yeah.
So I felt a little bad, and like she says, they're innocent women. They got their lives stolen, so it's all very sad. But you're not with the other princesses like you're with Millie Bobby Brown, so you don't really form an emotional connection. Like
that's true.
I feel like I was rooting for her to get out of there.
Sure. Yeah. And I think, in the beginning, she's like cutting wood, right? She's definitely somebody that rises to the occasion to help others.
She's a survivor.
She is a survivor, as evidently shown in her trying to get out of the predicament that she finds herself in. And she ultimately succeeds, which is more than the others could have said. But she goes back because someone she loves falls into peril.
Yeah.
And what did we think about that? The bond of sisters, almost like we've seen Frozen.
She loves her sister.
She does love her sister. After the wedding, she kisses her father, her stepmother, but she tells her sister, I love you. She's the only person that she says that to.
Yeah.
There is a special bond, I think, between sisters. And it's lovely here because you see it from the start. The two sisters in the beginning of the piece, the older one kind of looking out for the little one. And again, when Flora finds herself in peril, Elodie again rises to the occasion to save her. And it's nice. I think the film does a really good job of just showcasing Millie Bobby Brown as maybe not only like a strong female actress, but also maybe even in the action genre, because I think most of this, it's fantasy, but it's also an action piece. Most of the story she has spent in peril.
Yeah.
So, I think that's interesting. Did you have a favorite character, Olive G? Did I ask you that?
Elodie.
Elodie, why did you like her?
Because she's the main character, and she's also strong. She's a fighter.
She's a fighter. She's strong, yeah.
And she's able to use she knew how to sharpen a sword and stuff, and know how to use her resources.
That's smart. Yeah, she did all that. What about you, Gigi? What did you think of the film?
I thought that it was good.
Yeah, what was good about it?
I always like seeing films where the woman character can fend for herself. I'm not fond of the ones where she needs someone else to save her, whether it's a knight or not. It's just if sometimes people portray it poorly and they make the woman seem as if she can't do anything for herself, like in The Birds with Tippi Hedren.
Poor Tippi.
There's nothing poor about her besides her brain or something, because
Tippi
she
Hedren was
useless.
Dumb as hell. She couldn't even turn a doorknob correctly.
She really couldn't. And she was weird. She gets talked down to by this man, and all of a sudden she's twirling her hair, kicking her feet, giggling what is your problem, man?
Well, I think that movie is sort of a product of the times, but I think
It
it's
is
also,
old.
yes, it's old, and people had a different mindset back then. But I think it's also when we were younger, that's how I guess we were. I know that I've talked to you kids about me as a young girl, how it almost felt like women in my generation, when I was your ages, we were taught to be kind of decorative pieces and not really individuals. We would only speak when spoken to. We were always told to smile in spite of what we were feeling. And I think it's unfortunate because that's how we were raised. And obviously I want better for you guys. So
Right.
I'm constantly asking you how you guys are and what's going on. And I try to purposely keep dialogue because I think that's important. These are the things that my mother and probably her mother didn't do. So I want to break that cycle. I want us to be better than those that came before us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's nice to see a strong female character. And I think she was always strong, but I think obviously going through this scenario made her even stronger because she's literally fighting for her life.
Yeah.
So the stakes are high, and then someone that she genuinely loves is in peril. So she has to now rise to the occasion and does so. And it all works. I think it's it's not a short film. It's an hour and 50 minutes. Again, the beginning of it seemed a little slow to me, but I think it worked.
Yeah, they
I might
needed
have
to
liked.
set up that exposition. So
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from though, because I thought it was a little bit like,
Yeah, I mean, I wish they had tightened it a little bit, maybe shortened that, and then started the adventure part of it. But I guess I don't know. I think the beginning could have been tweaked a little. I don't think it needed to be this long, but it still works. It didn't really take away from my enjoyment of the film. Again, is it the Raid? Obviously not, but
No.
I think it's fun, fair. It's PG-13, so you can get like a younger audience to watch it. And I think as a parent of daughters, I think it's a great storytelling experience because you're showing a very strong, very resourceful female character. Mm-hmm. Anybody want to add anything else, or should we wrap it up?
I don't know. I don't really think there's much to say about this film. I think that it's good. It wasn't like you said, it wasn't the Raid, so there wasn't anything like spectacular about it, but it was entertaining. I thought the story was good and the special effects were nice as well. I didn't really have any like problems with this movie.
Yeah, I think definitely you could tell that money was spent here, and I mean some of the effects were not Marvel quality, but still well done, and you could tell that Netflix definitely invested a lot in this production. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give this a 6.5. I think from where it starts to where it ends, it's entertaining. Again, it's not the most action heavy piece, but you have elements of fantasy and drama, some decent action. Millie Bobby Brown definitely carries the whole piece. She's great, solid performer. Definitely Netflix's darling, it seems like. She's part of, obviously, Stranger Things, which is probably the thing that catapulted her to fame and where most audiences know her from. And also the Enola Holmes series. I think there's been 2 of those movies, too, so far. So
Yeah, just 2, I think.
Yeah. I don't think that there's going to be more of Damsel. It seemed like a one and done, but who knows? Maybe it'll do so well that Netflix will want another one. I'm going to go around the table and get more numbers. Olive G, 1 to 10, what are you going to give this film?
A 7.5.
7.5. What about you, Gigi?
I think I'll give it a 7.
A 7. So a 7, 7.5, and a 6.5. I think, from where it starts to where it ends, it's fun fare. So if you haven't seen it, obviously, and if you have Netflix, absolutely check out 2024's Damsel. Currently streaming on Netflix, PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 50 minutes. And with that, we will bid you all a
Good night.
good night.